am going to cover the basilisk.
Spooky.
So let's begin where it's born. This kind of reads like a Mad Libs from a cursed monastery. So here's how you make a basilisk according to medieval history or legends. So you have to take a rooster's egg.
Huh?
Not a hen, a rooster.
Okay, so roosters, I don't think lay eggs.
Exactly. So they're already cursed.
Okay.
Yep. So take this impossible, likely magic egg, because it's immaculate conception. Now give it to a toad or a serpent to incubate, and make sure that this all occurs under a full moon.
Easy.
Obviously.
Easy.
Yeah. Easy. Easy peasy. So now you're going to wait a little bit. Ideally, you want to wait. You want to search out your nearest haunted well. And you just kind of want to wait there on a full moon next to your haunted well, right? Perfect. And boom, out hatches a murder snake with a crown. Ta-da!
Pre-internet life was wild.
Yeah, a rooster lays an egg, a snake hatches it, full moon's involved. Are we birthing a monster, or is this a Pinterest moon ritual? It's funny. So, in some versions of the legend, it says that it has rooster legs, dragon wings, a snake tail, and a face of a demon who once lost in a bar fight.
A little sad looking, I would say.
Yeah, no, super fucking ugly. Yeah, just absolutely wrecked. Other versions describe it as just a really evil snake with a crown. Honestly, either one is bad.
I'm a snake.
You know? So imagine explaining this monster to someone who's never heard of it. Well, it's a snake with chicken legs and a crown and the power of instant death. Yeah, so we have some pictures here that you can look at, and we'll put them on here too, but you can look at them, Jasmine, right there.
Yeah.
As you see, there are big old wings, and he's got
That's a chicken head.
tiny little arms. That's a little chicken head. That ain't a demon head,
That's a
but
chicken
this one's
head.
a demon head.
That one's, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a mix. It's a conglomerate of all these weird creatures. So now let's move into what the basilisk does. So its signature move is a deadly gaze.
Same.
Yeah. One look into its eyes and you're just dead. Boom. No second chances. No second thought. I've decided. There's not even a dramatic gasp or a tell my wife I love her moment. It's just boom, dead. Drop dead. You're just gone. So there was this guy named Pliny the Elder.
Cute.
Yeah, right? What a name. The first century Roman who made his whole personality nature, but wrong. Yeah. He wrote about it in his Naturalis Historia. He said that the basilisk of Cyrene could kill with a glance, leave venomous trails as it slithered, wilt plants and crack rocks just by being nearby, and was so toxic it could kill you through your spear if you tried stabbing it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right. If you killed it with a spear, the poison would climb up the spear and it would murder you and your horse. So, not only lethal, but it's really fucking rude. Rude. Yeah. And here's a little joke for you. Why did the basilisk cross the road?
I don't know.
To kill everyone on the other side.
You know what? It sure fucking did.
It probably did. Yeah. So, that's cool. You get another monster, just like Medusa. I mean, I just said that, but you get another monster that just like looks at you, and then that's all you get. Mm-hmm. What other monsters are there that look at you? The Vi.
The Vi.
Oh, I see Repo in there.
Yep.
Somebody brought up Repo.
So the Vi is a creature from Slavic folklore whose gaze can kill. I don't know what it looks like. I'm not diving into that now. Basilisk, the Peeper from Repo.
Yep.
a ceiling-dwelling eyeball that can fix a player's gaze and deal damage over time.
Yeah, it's really scary. There's a couple monsters in there that you like look at, and if you make eye contact, they'll like.
Yeah, no, there's like a few video game monsters. Mm-hmm. They have grown-up knife ghost from Content Warning.
Okay.
And the Bracken monster from Lethal Company. But other than that, it says Basilisk and Medusa.
Gotcha.
And the Vi.
Okay. Cool. Well, because Renaissance horror tale is complete without weird solutions, here's how our ancestors thought that you could slay a basilisk. Are you ready?
No.
We have a weasel. Number 1, weasel.
That's wild.
Yeah, so Pliny swore that the one true enemy of a basilisk was a weasel. Just a little weasel. Apparently the smell of a weasel was so foul that the basilisk just dies instantly. So to kill one, you'd find a weasel. Don't ask me how. Yeet it into a basilisk hole. And wait for the inevitable weasel basilisk death match. I imagine it like Gandalf fighting the Balrog, just like endless time falling and fighting for months and months and months, just fighting the Balrog. Except it's a basilisk and a stinky weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just Googled, what do weasels smell like? And apparently they're known for their strong, musky odor, which they produce from anal scent glands. Ew. The smell is a defense mechanism and can be quite potent, even from a detectable distance. So, similar to a skunk. I didn't know that weasels did that.
I didn't either. And now we know, and now this makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I was just like, man, fuck these weasels.
Yeah, shit, brace her hat. I think weasels are so cute, so that makes me really sad that they're so stinky. Those stinky little guys.
To be fair, they're like too rodent-y for me.
I hate that you hate rodents because they're so... Why does it look like that? Oh my god.
I don't like it.
Trigger warning.
Do you want that for that?
No, I don't.
Okay,
we're not gonna show you guys that. That's a horrible picture. So you'll know that the basilisk is dead because the plants around the hole just like stop being cursed.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they come back to life.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Like I know you haven't played Baldur's Gate, but it's like in Baldur's Gate in the Shadow Realm, or not the Shadow Realm, but like when you go over the mountain and you get into the Shadow Realm, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Sorry, guys. But it's like that, and then you like lift the curse and everything turns green and life full again. Okay. So that's what I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. But apparently the weasel's odor kills the basilisk, so apparently Axe body spray is a medieval weapon. Yeah. Yeah. So we got more pictures. Look at this. Look at this little basilisk fighting this weasel.
Chicken ass looking.
Dude, I can't imagine that this massive dinosaur is scared of a tiny weasel.
Well, it's like the elephant and the mouse, right? Is that true? Did Mythbusters bust that? I don't think they did, but I hope so.
Elephant and mouse. The common belief that elephants are afraid of mice is largely a myth.
It seems like it would be, right?
Yeah,
I
can't imagine. An elephant would just like...
Yeah. Unless they're me, they'd be like, dear God.
Yeah, but elephants are like way bigger than you.
Damn. Thanks, girl.
Elephants like can't even see a mouse because it looks like an amoeba. Like it's just gonna like it's like one of those corner floaties in your eyes. It just runs across. He's like, what is that? Gone. That's not a mouse anymore. But okay. Question while we're on this point.
Okay.
So this is a Renaissance period, medieval period creature, which is basically a dinosaur. You're telling me that weasels were in the same period as a dinosaur? Well, it's not a dinosaur because it's in Renaissance.
Yeah. I mean, I will ask this question later as well. But I have a whole question is like, are some of these things the same things we saw as like dinosaur fossils?
Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
good question. Are some of the dinosaur fossils basilisks?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this place in Texas that I used to live next to called Glen Rose.
Okay.
And it's like a dinosaur park. And you can it's a big river and there are dinosaur footprints in the river. And you can go swim in the river and like sit in the
cool.
dinosaur footprints and stuff. Yeah, it's really neat.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And it's actually I mean, I haven't been since I was a kid, so I don't know if it's still clean, but it was a clean river at one point. So who knows what it looks like now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some of those things you see, it's like, okay, throw some wings on this, and that's a basilisk with a little chicken head if I've ever seen one.
I mean, chickens are just dinosaurs. That's literally what my TikTok bio is. So I'll stand by that. Chickens are miniature dinosaurs.
Honestly, is a basilisk, based on this picture, velociraptor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So
We need to get into science.
the second way to kill a basilisk is a mirror. It's another classic method, the old reflective death trick. Since the basilisk can't look at others without killing them, if it sees itself, bye-bye. Self-inflicted death, you know? It has, like, medieval Dungeons and Dragons intelligence. So, like, super, super dumb.
Okay.
Super dumb monster. There's a tale from Warsaw where a young man killed a basilisk in the catacombs using a backpack full of mirrors. Just like a gothic disco ball. Imagine being such a walking red flag that a mirror is your natural predator. I can't even get the joke out without laughing. If your weak point is a mirror, maybe it's not power you need, maybe it's therapy. And some people need to hear that. Sorry. I'm too much of a Leo.
I was about to say, like, literally, you're in my head. I was like, as a Leo.
Yeah,
I could never be a basilisk.
I would never want to be a basilisk anyway because ew.
But like also.
But also, I love looking at myself in the mirror. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, ew, you're disgusting. But I
when
keep
it's
looking.
good,
when it's good,
good.
I'll be in there looking. I'll be like, wow, selfie, selfie, selfie. Wow, you know.
and then I'll just go look at the selfie later. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Jasmine and I literally were talking about that today. She slacked me while we were at work, and she said, "Do you ever go back and look at old pictures of yourself that you look really good?" And I was like, "I literally just did it because I was going through my phone pictures because I got a new phone."
Yep. Do it all the time. If you're not a Leo, please tap in and tell us, what do you do
With all your
if you're
selfies?
not doing that?
Yeah,
Selfies are for you. They're for the self.
Yeah, it's literally in the name, selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I look at my pictures all the time, and also anytime I gain a new follower on like my personal TikTok, I go back through all of my TikToks.
I do that too.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'll watch like select ones. I watch most of them.
Yeah.
But I look through all my TikToks and I'm like, okay, this one's good. This one's not embarrassing. This one's good. This one's not embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with somebody seeing me and conceiving.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not conceiving.
Nope. Go through my TikToks to make sure I'm being perceived. Okay.
Yeah. I do that on my Instagram, and then I'm like, hell yeah, girl, go off.
Hell yeah. Anyway, my fucking horns. Okay. So the last way to kill a basilisk is the rooster's crow. Yes. You can apparently kill the basilisk with the sound of a rooster crowing. You know, the animal it literally hatched from. Yeah, that's like being born and being allergic to your own DNA. Yeah.
Could you just like wait till dawn? There's bound to be a rooster in medieval times somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's roosters everywhere. So yeah, if you just kind of, it's like a vampire.
Like a vampire.
You just like keep it outside.
Just wait it out.
Just wait it out. You kind of like do like loops and tire it out.
Yeah.
It's like in Phasmophobia. You loop the ghost, man. It's constantly looping.
And it gets
Or like
tired.
when you're trying to tire your dog out at the park and you're just kind of running around from him.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah, and just wait until the rooster crows in the morning.
This guy's trying to tire it out.
Oh,
Thank God for the weasel.
Yeah, poor guy. He's trying not to look at him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm sick of running around. Where's the weasel?
Where's my weasel? Do you think people in the medieval times just kept like weasels in their pocket?
I bet someone did. Yeah.
I
That
mean,
seems like more of a common thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Right?
People have ferrets now. Are ferrets descendants of weasels?
I'm going to wager yes.
I
but
would
don't
wager
know.
yes too, but I don't want to say and be wrong.
Are ferrets weasels? A ferret is a weasel, according to this one person on
On
r/ ferrets.
Hell yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say that's correct. Thanks, Reddit. Always thanks, Reddit. I have to keep my head tilted down. So because if I keep it tilted up, they fall back because they can't be on where they need to be with my headphones.
Okay, what's the difference of a minx, though?
A mink?
Minks are saucy.
Is it a mink or a minx?
Mink? But like plural?
Plural, mink. Minx.
Minks.
Minx. Is plural of mink, minx?
I don't think it'd be mini.
Minky. Minkies. I don't know. What is the difference? Are you telling me?
asking.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
how am I supposed to know?
I don't know.
I'm not a
know
minkologist.
things. You're so smart and you know things.
Not about animals, I don't. Actually, I do know stuff about animals.
You
One type of animal, and that's the human boy. Am I right? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is. Let's move on.
Anyway, I digress.
Literally scripted. I digress.
Okay. All right, so let's get into some real life shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's not just locked away in the books. No. Several European cities have claimed to have real basilisk problems.
Okay.
Vienna in the 1912s. Wait, what else?
No.
In the 1200s, reportedly sealed off a whole cellar due to basilisk activity. Just one cellar.
Okay.
I don't know how big that cellar is, but that monster seems pretty big, so I don't think one cellar is enough. But anyway, in Warsaw, like I was saying earlier, people believed that basilisk lived under Kryły Kolostr, guarding cursed treasure. So, like dragon.
Basically,
Yeah. Oh, you're doing dragons. So, yeah, you crossover episode.
so cute for us.
The Swiss city of Basel literally has basilisks on their fountains, their city seals, coat of arms. They embrace the snake chicken as their official brand. That's like putting Godzilla on your welcome sign and saying, "We stand a destructive king."
Let's go. Kill the people.
Kill all the people. Look at them in their eyes and kill them.
Yeah.
We love it. Bring chaos to our streets.
Cute.
That's what all the MAGA people are like.
Literally. They hate them.
Don't we all? At least I hope we all do. Anyway, so
Looking at you, 147.
100. Do you think the 147 are like they're because we have 47 Spotify listeners too?
Yeah.
Do you think they?
I hope so. Yeah, because we do
they
say
were both boys.
Yeah, because we do say in the end of our episodes to follow us on all the platforms.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully they listen to us. You guys listen to us? Do you guys listen to us, please? So okay, so let's talk about scientific theories. So we have modern scholars suggest the basilisk was inspired by cobras because they stand upright, they hiss, they spit venom, and some even have markings that resemble eyes or crowns.
You know, that's
cool.
fair. That's,
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And the second one is a monitor a monitor lizard. They're really big and they're intimidating and they're fast. I don't know if you've ever seen a monitor lizard before.
Not.
Oh, that's why you're copying and pasting it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're kind of scary. There was in Mexico, whenever I went to Tulum, they were everywhere.
Don't like that.
Like they just crawl on the ground. I'm pretty sure I have a picture on my phone I can find, but they just crawl on the ground everywhere, and then they like hang out next to you on tables. They're just there. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, the rooster with weird genetic mutations like featherless heads, triple crest, or horrible moods.
Have you ever heard of Mike the Headless Chicken?
No? What is that? I'm scared.
Fruta.
Okay.
There was a chicken that survived without a rooster that survived without its head for like a year or something. And so now the whole town celebrates it. There's a whole festival for
That's
him.
like Netherland with the headless man. Or the frozen man.
Frozen
man.
Dead Guy Days.
Why? People in Colorado are so weird. They're like, we have to celebrate every fucking thing. Everything.
Yeah. You gotta celebrate something or else you celebrate
Headless chicken,
nothing.
Frozen dead man. What else is there?
A lot of fruit festivals. Yeah. We got peaches, we got strawberry, we got corn, we got mushroom. Film.
Film.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they're bringing
festivals.
Sundance to Boulder.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyway. So combine this with early travelers misremembering wild animals, and voila, we have a murder chicken. Also, snakes can be terrifying if you're seeing them from the wrong angle after drinking 14th century beer made in lead cauldrons.
That is a very fair point.
I mean, that's what it all boils down to, I feel like.
Constantly on a hallucinogenic substance.
We literally talked about this. Did we talk about this on the podcast? Or did we talk about this just hanging out? I think we talked about it on Monday.
Yeah.
When I was talking about how people just saw things because they were all eating moldy bread. And that's where LSD came from originally, is moldy bread.
Yeah.
So how can we trust anybody? That's where witch came from, you know? Like everybody.
She was floating. It's like, no, my God, you ate some moldy bread.
Yeah, you ate a moldy baguette, man. Just fucking get over it. He's like, the trees were talking to me. How do you know you're not a witch? Huh?
Way to turn it around. You would have, like, if someone put you on trial, you would have been like, no, you. And then it would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, what? How can you tell that I'm a witch? That only a witch can tell who's a witch, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to hang with me.
Yeah.
And we'll go out holding hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's where, all myths and legends boil down to is everyone being lead poisoned. Mm-hmm. What with the lead droppings that we talked about was it Thanksgiving?
Maybe.
I think it was Thanksgiving, but we talked about how they used to do the dropping lead into water and figuring out shapes.
Yeah,
and telling your future.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all lead poisoning or harvesting the wrong type of mushrooms or eating moldy bread.
Yeah.
All these people are seeing, they see a chicken and then like right next to it they see a lizard and they're like,
oh fuck.
They eyeball both of them. They're like bouncing back and forth. They're like, and then all of a sudden it just kind of merges together.
Their eyes go.
Oh my God. My dad told me one time, he told me that the first time that he ever took mushrooms, which I think is, I'm like, how much mushroom did you take? Because I have never in my time of ever taking them.
Yeah.
Ever visualize anything like that. But he said he looked over at his friend and his friend turned into a snake as he was talking to him.
Were like the mushrooms they were doing and like mushrooms now different? Because I know weed is different.
I mean, I'm sure weed is so different. I have seen pictures of weed from like the 70s and 80s. And even my Nana, she'd be like, the weed nowadays is so much stronger. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, science, you know? Like, they can crossbreed stuff. They can strengthen the THC levels. And same with mushrooms. Now people can grow them in their own home. And in some states, it's legal to do so, to grow them in your own home. and you have full control over the environment, full control over what type of mushroom it is, and like what type of trip you want to induce depending on the mushroom. But back then, I mean, you just go into the forest and you grab a mushroom and you take a bite out of it, and then for the next 12 hours, you're thinking that you're seeing basilisks. Like,
That's terrible.
yeah, that'd be real. Yep.
Yep.
So now we move into the church because it all circles back around, as we know. As with most things weird and vaguely threatening, the church shows up and blames sin.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, my. I would never.
The basilisk became a symbol of pride because it wears a crown, temptation because gaze equals seduction equals boom, 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 you know? And then Satan himself because of the face, but he's got feathers. So
Just imagine him with his boa.
priests warn that just as basilisk slays with a glance, so too can sin slay the soul.
Sorry, I didn't mean my eyes to roll that hard.
It's pretty poetic, but also deeply unsettling. Also, this whole sermon just because Brother Reginald looked too long at a milkmaid.
Hey.
Yeah, they're like, "What are you doing? Hey, have you been jolted by the basilisk?" Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can tell. Look at your trousers. Pervert.
Tented. Wait, what would they call it? They would still be called tents. No, it'd be the houses. Yeah. They're housed.
He's like,
I see it.
Sorry, Father. I'm just trying to slither in, you know?
Dude, how do you think they hid boners in Renaissance periods?
Do you think they did? Or do you think they would have just like, yeah.
I feel like they did because, I mean, again, we go back to the church and I mean, sex is a really, like, frowned upon taboo thing.
Yeah, maybe that's where the waistband started.
Tucking it up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does that hurt? We're asking all the right questions
Inquiring
here.
minds want to know.
Does it hurt?
Listeners with wieners. Does it hurt when you have to like tuck it up into your waistband because you don't want everyone to see that you got a raging boner from a blow
oh my
of
god,
wind?
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. We're gonna get fucking kicked off of YouTube.
No one pays us.
I didn't say we're gonna get demonetized. I said we're gonna get kicked off.
But that would mean we were popular enough for them to notice, which is pretty cool.
Right. Somebody's like watching it and they're like, hey, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. Then they send it to their friend, and then they send it to their friend, and then they send it to their friend, and then they send it to their friend, who is a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who works at Spotify.
Yeah. And they're like, why are you talking about boners? Get off of here.
Boner jail. Go to boner jail. Bye.
I don't want to be in boner jail.
Have fun tented up, bitch.
No.
I can't even have one of those.
I imagine that's like such a weird. Anyway.
I wonder what it feels like. What I would give to be a guy for like one day.
I want to like helicopter it around.
Yeah.
I want to boner it.
I want to yoink it just
I
a little
would
bit.
definitely
I want to
yoink
jork it.
It wouldn't be a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because like
You're like a
guys do it-
14-year-old boy who
They're
just
like,
learned.
they do it all the time. So I'm like, it must be awesome.
Yeah, it must
right?
feel really good if
So
you're like
I'd probably
jorking
do it a couple times.
Yeah.
I would be on like Tinder and I'd be like, you want a dick pic?
Yeah, right? Let me... You're
wanna
not
see
even
this?
asking. You just
And it would
fucking
be bad
unsolicited.
angles.
Oh, yeah. You're like underneath full balls.
Just balls, 0.5.
Okay, but I would want to like have like a decent sized wiener, but like not too big, because I want to be able to like walk around and feel what it feels like in your pants, and I don't want to like have an atrociously sized schlong.
Yeah.
You know, I want like a solid like 6-7 inches.
Yeah, so like to bring up Atina in this episode, we've talked about the translation between wiener and boob size. Mm-hmm. So she would have like a fucking schlong.
Yeah.
I guess I would be also respectable. I
would also have a schlong.
You would be a professional at something.
Yeah, but I would have a surgery that removed inches because it was way too big.
Too much long.
Too much long. I
You
had
would
to have a
donate
surgery.
some of it to the people.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
have to. Here you go. Feast for days.
Yeah. It would be so impressive, actually.
Okay. The priest warned that just a basilisk slays with a glance. Oh, I had already said that. Anyway, so bestiaries, the medieval version of like Webster's dictionary.
Okay.
Love the basilisk. Or like, no, bestiaries, the medieval version of like Wiki.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
loved the basilisk. Woodcuts from the 1500s show that dragon rooster hybrids, snakes wearing crowns, and one basilisk holding a scepter like it was ready to rule the animal kingdom.
Cute.
Yeah.
Do you think everyone else was on board for that? Or they're like, no, you chicken-headed.
Well, I think it was only like one guy who did it, just like whoever wrote the Bible.
Yeah.
I know multiple people didn't write that shit. There was one guy who wanted to rule it all. one ring.
Rule it all. But
One-
yeah.
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 Alchemists thought the basilisk body could turn lead into gold and grant ultimate power. See, here we go with lead again. Mm-hmm. We're back to the lead.
People are tripping balls.
This creature was like Pokemon, Voldemort, and a chemistry set all in one, tied up with a little bow.
Cute.
Yeah, isn't that
Magical.
crazy?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be just like perpetually hallucinating.
Yeah, and they're all eating lead, so they're like, this has to turn into gold at some point, right?
Playing with mercury in the streets.
Please, Sam, may I have some more? And then you see a basilisk pop up. Anyway, so basilisk appears in a lot of pop culture. So in Harry Potter, as I'm sure if you like Harry Potter, I don't, she does. But when you think of basilisk, you think of Harry Potter. So J.K. Rowling used the basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets, a massive serpent with petrifying eyes and massive fucking fangs. Mm-hmm. Very, very Pliny. Also very illegal under Hogwarts pest control policy. Mm-hmm. Just saying. So we see the previously mentioned tactic of mirrors to avoid death by basilisk, and everyone was simply petrified. So they didn't die.
Yeah.
But they were just like, oh, yeah. So Medusa, Jason.
Petrificus totalis.
Sure.
Yeah.
So J.K. Rowling didn't invent the basilisk. She just added plumbing and a teenage angst subplot.
Yep.
And then we also move into Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Basilisk monsters have giant fake eyes to terrify you and a stare that turns players to stone. So another A+ horror design. And we always go back to Medusa once again. Then there's Roko's Basilisk, an internet thought experiments where a future AI punishes you for not helping it come into existence. Basically, what if the Basilisk was a time-traveling robot who resents you for not kickstarting Skynet?
I don't like that one.
Can you imagine? So Harry Potter's Basilisk lived in the pipes, and Pliny, the Elder's Basilisk, could crack rocks. And I can't even keep a houseplant alive. So now we've moved on from medieval fear of sin to modern fear of algorithms. Is that progress?
It feels the same, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It just feels like it's just a little different, you know? Mm-hmm. So instead of being afraid of being smited by God, we're just afraid of the AI overlords coming over and killing us off one by one, taking all of our jobs.
Certificate.
I could slide in there.
I know a guy.
I don't like talking to ChatGPT, guys. It scares me. It scares me. I'm not an AI person. I just went back to an iPhone, and they were like, I was like, what's the difference between the 15 and the 16? And they were like, well, it has AI. And I was like, give me the 15.
I don't like that.
Give me the 15.
No.
Give me the 15, please. I don't want the AI. I don't want it. Please take it out. So, moving on. What is a basilisk? Really? The basilisk like all great monsters, was probably a metaphor for fear of death, moral decay, disease, outsiders, and that weird bird at the end of the village that looked at you funny. Like that like crow or
like
raven.
a weird crow.
Yeah, he's like missing a bunch of feathers. He's got like
molting.
one wonky eye because the other one got pecked out by another crow. Yeah, that guy. It was a way to explain plague, fear, evil, and sin when science just didn't have any answers yet. Also a really good excuse for not going outside, I will say. Yeah.
I would have totally used that.
Oh, I would use it for like outside. A million things in the medieval times.
Got that. Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Dragon. Oh no, I guess I have to stay inside and weave on my loom.
Yeah, play with my bones.
My bones. I gotta roll my dice in my bones and figure out what's in my future for the rest of the week. Which?
Yeah,
anyway.
Get caught.
So, let us review what we've learned, dear listeners. If you see a crowned snake, don't look it in the eyes. If you hear crowing, and maybe you're safe. People hear crowing all the fucking time. So, if you smell a weasel, it's either basilisk time or you're in a medieval tavern.
Stinky.
Or you're in somebody's house and they have a bunch of ferrets. And if somebody says rooster egg, that's your cue to back away slowly, grab that weasel, and grab a reflective surface. You can be all geared up. Imagine you have like a work belt and all that's on it is like a hand mirror and a weasel.
The weasel's just like
hanging. I was thinking of like a potion bottle, but like really big.
Yeah.
And so it's like one of those like dome backpack carriers for cats.
Exactly.
But it like lives on your side and it's just like a holster and
Just
you can like
holds the
whip it
weasel.
out.
Yeah. I have one of those. My cats hate it.
I want to get one, but I feel like my cats would hate it too.
They screamed the entire time.
So the basilisk is a reminder that sometimes the deadliest monsters are part bird, part snake, and entirely the product of imagination and deep distress of eggs and lead poisoning. So remember, kids, if thou gaze long into the basilisk might gaze back. But hopefully it just sees your reflection in your eyes and explodes. If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?